Your Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta, President of the Republic of Kenya, Your Excellency Musa Faki, Chairperson of the African Union Commission, Honorable Eugene Wamalwa, Cabinet Secretary for Devolution, Your Excellency Peter Anyang Nyongyo, Governor of Kisumu, Your Excellency Martin Wambora, Chairperson of the Council of Governors of Kenya, Madam Christine Nutume, President of the United Cities of Local Government of Africa, UCLGA, John Pera Elong Embassy, the General Secretary of UCLGA, honorable members of the UCLG Africa, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning to all of you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Habaria usubuhi. Mr. President and Your Excellency, let me take this opportunity to thank the organizers who have worked very hard with the support of many young people in the city of Kisumu to make this summit possible. I always look forward to meeting young people, especially women and girls, whose future is intimately tied to the United Nations Human Settlement Agenda. When a young child born this year celebrates her 18th birthday, she will join other Africans in building an urban future. More likely than not, it will be in an intermediate city. By 2050, 50% of all Africans will live in urban areas. She will be among the additional 1.4 billion people that will be born or will migrate to urban settlement. And this, I would like also to try to imagine that what future will be like for our young women and young boys born in 2022 today. Today, more than 64% of the urban population in Africa live in informal settlements. There is a deficit of housing and housing finance, with only 15% of urban dwellers in Africa able to afford to purchase their own homes. Depending on where our young lady is born, it will be a major battle to get a job, own a home, and start a family. This is the urban future she will have if we do nothing to change the urban agenda in Africa. What is the role of the intermediate cities? Your Excellency, Mr. President, I would like to recognize your contribution to Africa and the people of Kenya, your foresight and investment made by the government of Kenya in housing, infrastructure, industry, and job creation will be felt many decades to come. You have successfully created an abode of peace and development in East Africa, a model for a continent and the rest of us in the developing world. Congratulations to you, Mr. President. Thank you for taking the initiative to host this important summit during the unprecedented times when the world is experiencing the effect of what I call the confluence of the three Cs: climate, conflict, and COVID-19. This perfect storm is increasing the social economic vulnerability of cities, often overlook our intermediate cities. Too small to be made a national priority, but not big enough to be independently resilient. Kenya, under your leadership, is showing the way to foster closer cooperation and resource allocation between national and local government. This is helping to deliver resources to communities most in need. In the last 50 years, the United Nations in Africa have contributed to ensuring that urban communities have had greater access to basic services, transport infrastructure, and now digital connectivity. Our engagement with more than 30 countries in Africa has given us opportunities to foster collaboration with both national and local governments towards prosperous, safe, and resilient cities in Africa, with the support of the development of national urban policies in 20 countries in Africa. I would like to appreciate the collaboration with the government of Kenya at both national and country level in the sector of housing, physical planning, promoting resilience for the urban poor, waste management, and on the Blue Economy initiative for coastal cities planning being jointly carried out by UN Habitat and UNEP to boost the circular economy with the financial support of the European Union. I cannot overemphasize our great collaboration with Kisumu County on the lakefront development, on municipal revenue enhancement, and on local economic development for long-term recovery from COVID-19. And I believe the new United Nations Sustainable Development Cooperation Framework under leadership of the UN Resident Coordinator will foster further collaboration with the government of Kenya and will offer an opportunity to the whole UN family to accelerate the Sustainable Development Goals in Kenya. Let me also highlight the UN strategic plan and our focus on housing, Mr. President, climate adaptation and localization of the Sustainable Development Goals. I understand that we must not leave our rural communities. The first goal of the UN Habitat Strategy Plan is all about urban and rural linkages. This is why we are supporting this summit wholeheartedly. Mr. President, 65 of my staff are here in this Kisumu Africities. That shows the commitment of UN Habitat to you. We believe that the transformation will come from the intermediate cities. It is not about reversing urbanization, but what we need to do is to make it equitable. Let me also appreciate the collaboration with your UCLG Africa on capacity development for local government and our recent collaboration jointly with UNECA on voluntary local reviews. These include local governments to actively participate in SDG reporting. The participation of local government has deepened our understanding about socio-economic impact of COVID-19, allowing government to be more targeted in their resource allocation to deliver help to those the most in need. I hope that the ongoing joint work in Kisumu on local economic development can be scaled up in the country and at the regional level. We should remind ourselves that ultimately the goal for all of us is to see an African continent which shows inclusive growth and sustainable development, social transformation, and improvement in the standard of living and quality of life in both rural and urban areas. To accelerate the implementation of the SDG 2030 and the African Union Agenda 2063, we all need to work together. The United Nations, other stakeholders, including national and local governments, non-state actors, and including the private sectors. I look forward to seeing the conclusion of the summit translated into action in the 11th session of the World Urban Forum in Katowice, Poland on the 26th to 30th of June this year, and we can conclude the commitments of this summit on intermediate cities in Katowice declared action. As I conclude, let us recall the young woman born in 2022 in my earlier part of my speech. I am confident that if she is fortunate to be born in Kenya, and she will have a strong foundation to get a good education, a steady job, and opportunity one day, Mr. President, to be the first woman president of the country. So, Mr. President, thank you for your support you have shown to UN Habitat and our mandate, more importantly, for your leadership as a champion for sustainable urbanization in Africa. It is our hope that urbanization as a vehicle for economic growth in Africa and will be featured in an African Union summit to come. Wishing you all a successful 9th edition of the Africities Summit here in Kisumu. Thank you. Asante sana.